So the big idea for this lesson that we're talking about right now is one-sided limits. Now in the last lesson we were talking about two-sided limits. So I wanted to throw back to one of the examples that I used there for a two-sided limit that didn't exist, and I wanted to look at it again one more time from the standpoint of one-sided limits. So here I go. The graph that you see behind me is the square root function. That is, f of x equals the square root of x. So what I did was I graphed it first. So I plugged in 0 for x, and I got square root of 0 is 0. Then I plugged in 1. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. So I went ahead and graphed all those points and just drew my function. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do now is try to pinpoint some different parts of this that are important. So here we go. So the first part is I'm going to actually find the value of the function at 0. So what I'm going to do is just plug in 0 for x, like I would any other time. I'm going to evaluate the function. So the square root of 0 is just 0. So f of 0 is 0. Easy enough. Now, I'm going to keep going. We're going to look at part 2. So the limit as x approaches 0, notice I got my little minus sign right there, so we're talking about from the left. Now, if I look at the left side of my graph as it approaches 0, there's nothing over there. This function is not defined on the left side of 0. So this right here does not exist. There's nothing to the left. So there is no limit. Now, I'm going to keep going. The next one, part 3. The limit as x approaches 0 from the positive side, from the right side. Now, if I look at this from the right side as I approach 0, watch what happens. Here I go. Here's the right side. We're going down, we're going down, we're going down. And look at where it's going. Look at where it stops. On the right-hand side of 0, it's approaching 0. It just keeps going and going and going, getting smaller and smaller and smaller till it gets to 0. Now, the question is, before, why didn't our two-sided limit, the limit as x approaches 0, why didn't it exist? Well, it's because these two answers aren't the same. Since one of them didn't exist and the other one is 0, this limit, the two-sided limit, doesn't exist either. They have to be the same. They have to be the same.